During movie night, my boyfriend fell asleep. His phone exposed everything, so I left.
It started like any other chill Friday night. Me and Will laid out on the couch, halfway buried in popcorn. It's our weekly ritual. Same couch, same comfort, same dumb arguments over movie picks. This time, he chose some soul-sucking crypto documentary that nearly short-circuited my brain. Whatever. Typical Will. He was out cold halfway through, just knocked out. Phone in hand, screen lit up, unlocked. And then it started. Ping, ping, ping. His phone was going off like crazy. Texts kept flooding in, all from someone saved as work project with, get this, a flirtatious emoji right next to it. At first, I figured it was just another coworker bugging him about a deadline or whatever. But then I saw it. Miss your touch already. And right under that, last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again tomorrow. My whole body locked up. I mean, like full system shut down. My chest tightened so fast, I thought I might be having a heart attack. We'd been together 3 years. 3 years! We'd just thrown down a massive deposit on this cute little craftsman in the suburbs. We had a note on my phone with potential baby names. A shared Costco membership. That's pretty much legally married if you're a millennial. Of course, this was Will's movie night pick, and of course, it was another boring mess about some crypto billionaire. 45 minutes in, he was snoring. Told me he'd been staying late at the office all week. I was about to tap him, suggest we go to bed, but then his phone lit up again on the coffee table. Then again, and again. Unlocked. Right in front of me. And those messages? Yeah, they weren't just flirty. They were straight up shameless. I wish I could tell you I looked away. But I didn't. I picked up the phone. I scrolled. Fast. My hands were shaking. My head was spinning. But I had to see. And what I found, it broke something in me. It wasn't just flirty nonsense. It was full-blown betrayal. Hotel meetups, dirty messages, even photos I wish I could scrub out of my brain with bleach. From the timestamps, this crap had been going on for at least 2 months. 2 damn months. And the worst part? There were texts about me, about how he was managing the Emily situation and didn't want to hurt me. Like, seriously, what part of sleeping with your coworker behind my back screams trying not to hurt her? The nerve. I wanted to lose it. I wanted to launch his phone straight through the window. I wanted to shake him awake and demand the truth. But something inside me, something colder, sharper, told me to wait, to be smart. So I did the unthinkable. I put the phone back exactly how I found it, pulled the blanket up over him like some doting girlfriend. Then I walked into the bathroom and had the quietest, most soul-crushing panic attack of my life. And no, I didn't confront him that night. I couldn't. I needed to breathe. I needed a plan. So I laid there all night, pretending to sleep, while my mind went full FBI mode. Who the hell was this woman? How long had this been happening? Were all those late nights just cover for Chloe? And our house, the one we just dumped my savings into, was that all just a setup too? The next morning was absolutely unreal. Will woke up like nothing had happened, kissed my forehead, acted like the picture-perfect boyfriend. He even made me breakfast and started rambling about paint colors for the new place. Let me just say this. I deserve an Academy Award for how well I played it. I smiled, I nodded, I pretended my whole life hadn't just cracked open and spilled everywhere. As soon as he left for his Saturday gym session, which, let's be real now, probably meant a secret meetup with Chloe, I called Nora. my ride or die. She showed up within 20 minutes, and for the next 3 hours, we went through every message I could remember. She had one word: dig. Will and I share a credit card for household stuff, so we logged into the account. Boom. Clear as day. Charges for dinners at restaurants I've never even heard of. Uber rides at 1 a.m. Hotel receipts? Yep. From last weekend when he told me he was on some urgent business trip. My stomach was in knots. The deeper we dug, the worse it got. It was like every tiny red flag I had brushed aside over the past few months suddenly lit up in flames. The late-night work calls, the urgent emergencies, that fancy new Dior cologne he just had to wear every day, the sudden password changes on his laptop. Every piece of the puzzle snapped into place, and the picture it made was disgusting. But here's where I need a sanity check, Reddit. I don't want to just call him out and have him twist everything around like I'm overreacting. I don't want him to gaslight me or turn it into some sob story about how things just weren't working. No, I want Will to feel this. I want him to understand exactly what he destroyed. I want his damn world to crack in half the same way mine did.
Nora thinks I should wait it out and keep collecting receipts. She told me to play it cool a little longer, just until I have the upper hand. So that's what I've been doing, playing the perfect girlfriend. I cooked his favorite dinner last night, laughed when he laughed, said nothing when I caught him grinning at his phone, knowing exactly who was on the other end. Hell, I even initiated sex, which made my skin crawl, but I had to keep the act going. This morning, I casually mentioned that I might have a work trip next weekend. And just like that, he lit up. Tried to hide it, but I saw the look. I saw the gears turning in his smug little head, probably imagining having the whole apartment to himself. That was all the confirmation I needed. So here's the play. I'm going to pretend to leave town for this trip, but instead, I'll be crashing at Nora's place across town. I'd bet money he's going to invite Chloe over the second I'm gone. And when he does, that's when I strike. Look, I've never been the revenge type, I swear, but something in me broke. 3 years of my life, my savings, my trust. I refuse to walk away empty-handed, while he gets to skip off into the sunset with his side chick like nothing happened. For those wondering, yes, I've already taken screenshots of every text, every hotel charge, every receipt. And no, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm just making damn sure Will gets what's coming to him. And for the folks asking about the house, we haven't closed yet. Thank God. The deposit's still in escrow, and I've already contacted a lawyer to make sure I'm covered. Financially, I'm locking it all down. Some people are saying I'm being manipulative by not confronting him straight up. Maybe they're right, but after 3 years of building a life with a man who is living a secret one behind my back, can you really blame me for wanting this to end on my terms? I did not expect my last post to explode like that. Seriously, thank you to everyone who left advice, support, or just screamed into the void with me. Reading your replies has legit kept me sane in the middle of this living nightmare. Y'all are the real ones. So, it's officially been 1 week since I uncovered Will's betrayal. And, oh boy, I've got updates. Basically, I've been living a full-on double life this past week. On the outside, I'm still Emily, the sweet, loving girlfriend, gushing over our future house and pretending to pick out backsplash tiles. But behind the scenes, I've gone full FBI. I'm collecting receipts and preparing for my grand escape like it's a heist movie. As a bunch of you suggested, I met with the financial advisor on Monday. Told Will I was grabbing lunch with a coworker. The advisor confirmed what you all said. I had to move fast to protect myself, especially since most of the house deposit came from my own savings. She helped me draft a letter to the escrow company.
It's not sent yet, but it's locked and loaded, waiting for the right moment. I also opened a new bank account at an entirely different bank and started quietly moving small amounts out of our shared savings. Nothing he'd notice right away, but enough that I'll have a safety net when the bomb drops. And for the record, for the folks saying I'm stealing, nah, that's my money. I earned it. I'm just protecting what's mine. Now here's where it gets juicy. Remember how Will works at that marketing firm? Well, Tuesday night was their monthly team happy hour. Usually I skip those because, let's be honest, corporate small talk makes me want to fake my own death. But this time, I showed up, and guess who I met? Chloe, a.k.a. Work Project, a.k.a. the woman blowing up my boyfriend's phone. She's the new creative director. Been there about 3 months. Will introduced us like nothing in the world was falling apart. And y'all, she was exactly what I expected. Ridiculously pretty, dripping confidence, dressed like she just walked off a Vogue shoot. Basically every insecurity I've been carrying for months wrapped in one perfect package. The way they acted around each other? Obvious. Once you know what to look for, it's all right there. Inside jokes, way too much eye contact. He kept drifting near her like a moth to a flame. At one point, I left to go to the bathroom, then looped back in through another door, just in time to catch them tucked in a corner, whispering with their heads way too close together. When another coworker walked up, they sprang apart like guilty teenagers. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw my drink right in their faces. Instead, I smiled. I complimented her earrings, which, by the way, looked expensive as hell, and made small talk about her job. She said she moved here from Chicago for the opportunity. Yeah, right. More like she moved here for Will. And as we were leaving, I overheard her say to him, "Your girlfriend seems so sweet," in this fake, sugary voice that made my fist clench so hard I left nail marks in my own palms, just trying not to explode right there. That night, Will turned on the charm. Hard. Real handsy, real sweet. Probably drowning in guilt. He even suggested we hop online and look at furniture for the new house. The audacity. I sat there fake laughing and pointing at sofas while mentally lighting every piece of his world on fire. Don't worry, I'm not about to commit arson. Just rage visualizing. So come Wednesday, I decided to take some of y'all's advice and track his damn movements. I downloaded our Cell Carrier's Family Plan app, you know, the one that shows location history. Jackpot. Pure gold. Every Tuesday and Thursday, those late work nights he swore were for some big client project, yeah, his phone kept pinging from the other side of town. I Googled the address. It was an apartment complex. And guess whose name came up when I cross-checked it with socials? Chloe. He'd been making regular clockwork-style visits to her place twice a week, like it was part of his goddamn schedule. Thursday was the hardest. I knew exactly where he was going, what he was doing, and who he was doing it with. He texted me saying he had to stay late working on a presentation. I replied, all sunshine and sweetness, "No problem, babe, I'll save you some dinner. Love you," while literally gripping my phone so hard my fingers cramped. While he was out designing graphics, I did a full forensic sweep on our finances. We've been together 3 years, but only merged accounts about a year ago when we got serious about the house. And guess what I found? Fancy restaurants I've never been to, wine shops, and a charge from a high-end jewelry store just last month. And here's the kicker. I haven't gotten a single piece of jewelry from Will in 6 months. Some of y'all asked if it could have been a surprise for me. Yeah, no. The date on the receipt? February 13th. And all I got for Valentine's Day was a damn card. Now I know where the real gift ended up. Friday rolled around again, movie night. And the irony was brutal. Exactly 1 week since my whole world fell apart during this very tradition. Will picked another snore fest, this time about some tech billionaire. Equally dull, equally fake, just like him. At this moment, I barely watched the movie. My eyes were glued to him. The way Will kept checking his phone, the way he tilted the screen away from me when he texted, all these little things I used to shrug off. Now they were screaming at me, red, freaking flags. He passed out before the movie even ended. Classic. So yeah, I checked his phone again. The chat with work project, poof, gone. But there was a shiny new thread with someone saved as Dwar. Cute try, Will. It was obviously Chloe. They were planning for next weekend, right when I'm supposed to be out of town on my work trip. Which brings us to my plan. I told Will I'd be flying out Thursday night for a healthcare conference in Denver. Since I work in office management, it sounds totally legit. But in reality, I'll be crashing at Nora's place across town, popcorn in hand, watching everything go down via the doorbell camera I secretly installed yesterday while Will was at the gym. Based on the texts, Chloe is coming over Friday night to our apartment. Most likely to sleep in our bed. Just typing that makes me want to puke. But I need the proof. One last nail in the coffin. While they're playing house in my absence, I'll be executing phase 2 of my escape. Sending the letter to the escrow company, pulling my money out of the house, draining the rest of my share from our joint accounts, packing up my essentials — I have already been sneaking sentimental stuff to Nora's — printing out every damn receipt, message, and photo I've collected, and finally, gearing up for the confrontation of a lifetime. Some of you dropped some wild revenge ideas in the comments, and trust, I loved the creativity. But I'm going for something deeper. I don't want a quick gotcha. I want Will to truly understand what he threw away. Not just me, but our future, his own damn dignity, and whatever scrap of reputation he had left. The hardest part has been keeping up the act this week. We're still sharing a bed, still eating together, still talking like we have a future. Yesterday, he brought up maybe getting a dog for the new house, and I had to sit there, smile, and debate between golden retriever or husky, while knowing damn well there is no house, no dog, and no future coming for him. Sometimes when I look at Will, I still catch glimpses of the man I once loved, the one who held my hand while my dad was in the hospital last year, the guy who surprised me with concert tickets to my favorite bands, the one I honestly thought I'd grow old with. But then I remember the texts, the lies, the betrayal. And whatever warmth I had left turns into this cold, focused determination. Am I doing the right thing, Reddit? Because he's already taken so damn much from me. My trust, my future, my sense of safety. And now, I just want to reclaim some control over how this ends. Quick note for those asking, yes, I got tested for STIs. All clear. And yes, I've got receipts. Every bit of it is documented, in case this turns into a legal battle over the house. And for the few people who messaged asking, what if there's a chance this is all a misunderstanding? Please. There is no innocent explanation for the garbage I've seen.
This isn't some big miscommunication. It's betrayal. Plain and brutal. My hands are literally shaking as I type this. The last 72 hours have wrecked me emotionally. But also, it was more satisfying than I ever thought possible. I still can't believe I pulled it off. So, here's what went down. Last Thursday, I kissed Will goodbye like nothing was wrong, suitcase in hand, all packed for my conference in Denver. He even helped carry my bag to the car and gave me that fake-ass, "I'll miss you" line, swearing he'd be working all weekend. Lies. All of it. I drove a few blocks away, waited 20 minutes to be safe, then looped right back to Nora's place. We had everything ready. Snacks, wine, laptops, and a battle plan. While we waited for the show to start, I got busy.
I sent the notarized letter to the escrow company to pull out of the house deal, moved my share of our savings into my new account, called my doctor and had my records transferred to a new clinic. Fresh start mode fully activated. I changed every single password, swapped out my recovery emails, and took myself off as an authorized user on all our credit cards. I wasn't taking any chances. Then, at exactly 7:30, the doorbell cam sent a motion alert, and there she was. Chloe, looking like she walked out of a damn fashion catalog, holding an overnight bag and a bottle of wine I probably couldn't afford on my best day. And Will? He met her at the door with a kiss that made my stomach lurch. They didn't even wait to go inside. They were all over each other, right there in the doorway of the apartment I helped build into a home. And that was the moment something inside me snapped. Nora saw it happen. She said my whole face changed. It wasn't sadness anymore. I was just done. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I opened the camera app and hit record. I caught everything. The kiss, them walking in, the gross little conversation through the door where Will actually said how nice it was to finally have the place to themselves. The audio, crystal freaking clear. You could literally hear him say he was excited for a Will and Chloe weekend without having to worry about Emily. I saved that video and then downloaded the Ring app onto my laptop so I could keep recording through the night. Every time they walked past the cam, balcony wine moment, food delivery, whatever, I captured it all. And then I went even bolder. I grabbed my old phone, climbed the fire escape with Nora's brother spotting me, and planted the phone on our balcony. We're on the second floor, and it wraps around to the bedroom window. I knew Will never closes the damn curtains all the way, so I positioned it to peek right in. The next morning, I waited until I knew Will would be at work and headed back to the apartment. I had exactly 3 hours to get in, get my stuff, and get out before he could show up for lunch. Nora and 2 of her brothers came with me, and we worked like a damn tactical team. I only took what was 100% mine. Clothes, personal items, heirlooms, a couple of pieces of furniture I brought into the relationship. I left anything we bought together, or that could be argued over. I wasn't there for a fight. I just wanted to disappear. Before leaving, I did one final sweep. In the bathroom, her hairbrush and makeup were laid out on my vanity. In the kitchen, 2 wine glasses in the sink. And in the bedroom, let's just say the aftermath of their little sleepover was plain as day. I left my key on the kitchen counter, along with a small stack of printed evidence. Screenshots, credit card charges. Just enough to know Will I wasn't blind. But I kept the recordings for myself. For now. Then, I blocked him. On everything. Phone, email, socials, even freaking Venmo. I messaged our close friends and family to say we'd broken up,
that I wasn't sharing details, and I needed space from anything connected to Will. I thought I'd feel powerful, like I'd won. But walking out of that place, I didn't feel victorious.
I felt hollow. 3 years, just gone. Every plan, every dream, wiped out. All our inside jokes, our routines, the tiny, everyday things we built together, it all got wiped out in a single morning. I cried the entire drive back to Nora's place, completely wrecked. But then, the messages started. They came flooding into my work email. The one line of communication I had forgotten to block. 12:34 p.m. Where are you? Just came home for lunch and saw your stuff gone. What's happening? Call me ASAP. 12:46 p.m. I see the papers you left. This isn't what you think. Please call me so I can explain. 1:03 p.m. I know I messed up, but we can fix this. Don't throw away 3 years over a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? Is that what we're calling months of sneaking around with your coworker while you shopped for houses and talked baby names with me? The nerve. The emails didn't stop. They kept coming all afternoon, each one more desperate than the last. By evening, Will was flipping between tearful apologies and pissed-off rants about how I violated his privacy and made a big deal without even giving him the chance to explain. And when the emails didn't work, he started showing up. He went to my favorite coffee spot. He went to my parents' house. He even showed up at Nora's apartment. Thank God she didn't tell him I was there. The man even stormed into my job, made such a scene that my boss was seconds away from calling security. The audacity of this man, acting like I was the villain, like he was the one owed something. That was it. That was the moment my rage, which I'd been choking down for days, finally snapped. So I did it. I uploaded everything, the doorbell cam, the balcony footage, all the audio, and created a private link. Then I sent it to Will's parents. No angry rants, no drawn-out explanations, just a message that said, I thought you should know why Will and I won't be buying the house together after all. I'm sorry to send this, but you deserve the truth. 10 minutes later, Will's phone must have exploded, because I started getting texts from random numbers, friends of his, I assume, saying his parents were blowing up his line. How do I know his parents found out? Because Will started blowing up my phone from his friend's number since I'd blocked his. 20 texts in a row, raging about how I'd ruined his life and how could I send that to his parents. But guess what? I wasn't done. I also sent the footage link to his boss. And no, it wasn't just about revenge. Their company has a crystal clear policy against workplace relationships, especially between employees on different levels. Will and Chloe had been hooking up on company time, using company resources and pretending they were just working late. I figured HR would love that. For those of you saying I went too far by involving his boss, let me add this little detail. Will just got a promotion that should have gone to his coworker, Mark, a guy with a sick wife and 3 kids. The only reason Will snagged the role was Chloe had been pushing his name in meetings. That same Friday night, Will apparently spiraled and went on a full-blown bender with his buddies. I know because by 2 a.m., I had 51 messages from random numbers, him borrowing friends' phones just to get around my block. They ranged from, I love you more than anything, to, you've destroyed everything I've worked for, to, my personal favorite, you can't just disappear after 3 years and blast my personal life everywhere. What am I supposed to tell people? Oh, I don't know, Will. Maybe start with the truth? That you're a lying cheat who got caught? And then, because of course she did, Chloe messaged me on Instagram. She's blocked now, too. This time, she wasn't apologizing. Nope. She was pissed. Said HR dragged her into an emergency meeting and now her job was hanging by a thread. She blamed me for overreacting and not handling this like an adult. Saturday afternoon, word had fully spread through our friend group. The reactions? Mixed bag. Some backed me immediately, rightfully disgusted by Will's behavior. Others said I went nuclear and that dragging his family and job into it was too far. A few tried to stay neutral, saying I should have just walked away quietly. But here's the thing. Consequences, they need to sting sometimes. Will wasn't just cheating in private. He was lying to his parents about the house, manipulating things at work to climb the ladder, and planning to keep juggling both lives. So tell me, why should I be the only one to carry the pain of his double life?
Then came the unexpected part. Saturday evening, Will's mom called me. Apparently, I forgot to block her. And to my absolute shock, she wasn't mad. She was heartbroken. She thanked me for exposing the truth, even though it hurt. She said she was devastated that her son could do something so dishonest and that their whole family would be having some serious conversations with Will. After that call, I turned my phone off completely. I needed a break from the chaos, from the drama, from the nonstop reminders of everything I'd just walked away from. I shut my phone off for 24 hours. When I finally turned it back on this morning, the flood resumed. Missed calls, new messages, people wanting updates, gossip, closure. A dozen voices asking for a piece of my story. So where am I now? Still holed up at Nora's, still trying to process it all. Some moments I feel proud, calm, steady, even kind of powerful. Other moments I wonder if I went too far, if maybe I scorched a little too much earth. The apartment manager confirmed today that Will is packing up his stuff. Technically, I could go back soon, but honestly, I don't even know if I want to. That place is soaked in memories, some beautiful, most now tainted. I don't think I can walk in there and not feel haunted. I'm thinking about finding a whole new place, a clean slate, somewhere that doesn't reek of betrayal. I've also decided to take a week off work, just to reset. My boss was shockingly kind when I told her, well, the PG-rated version of what was going on.
And the house? The escrow company confirmed they got my withdrawal. I'll lose a little earnest money, but it's worth it to avoid tying myself legally and financially to Will. No regrets there. Will's still trying to reach me, mostly through mutual friends now, but his tone has shifted. He's not begging for a second chance anymore. He's pleading with me to stop sharing the footage, swearing he's learned his lesson, promising he's changed. Too little, too late. To everyone asking if I'll ever give him the chance to explain, maybe, someday, when this doesn't hurt so much. But right now, there's no version of his story that makes what he did okay. And for those saying I was too harsh sending the footage to his parents and boss, maybe. But when you're being lied to for months while decorating Pinterest boards and planning your future with someone, the breakup doesn't cut it. There needed to be consequences, real ones, not just a sad, it didn't work out story Will could twist to save face. As for the recordings, no, I won't be sharing them. I didn't gather that evidence to humiliate him publicly. I shared it with the people who needed to see the truth. That's it. And tomorrow, I've got my first appointment with a therapist. Thanks to everyone who nudged me to do it.
A week later, while I was journaling at a coffee shop across town, I looked up, and there he was. I'd just dropped the nuclear bomb. I'd recorded Will and Chloe on the doorbell cam, caught them mid-affair, and sent the evidence to his parents, his boss, and a few key people who needed to know. I'd packed up, gone ghost, blocked him from every direction, and crashed at Nora's while the dust settled. And a bunch of you asked, did I ever confront him face to face? Well, yeah, but not the way I expected. About a week after I sent out the recordings, I was sitting in this tiny indie coffee shop across town, one of those artsy spots that's way too hipster for Will. I picked it on purpose, thinking I was safe. I was journaling, like my therapist suggested, trying to sort out the mess in my head. Then I heard someone say my name. I looked up, and there he was. Will. And he looked like absolute garbage. Unshaven, huge dark circles under his eyes, wearing the same wrinkled button-down I swear I saw him in 2 weeks ago. He'd clearly lost weight, and his whole face had this sunken, haunted look I'd never seen before. For half a second, I felt satisfied. Like, you look exactly how I've been feeling. But right after that, full-on anxiety. I was not ready for this. He asked if he could sit down. My gut reaction was to say no and bolt, but something in me wanted closure. So I nodded. And then came the most brutally honest conversation we'd had in months, maybe ever. He told me everything. How it started with harmless flirting at work, then drinks after late meetings, and eventually, well, we know where that goes. He said he never meant for it to turn into an affair, said he was stressed about the house stuff, said he still loved me, but got swept up in the excitement.
Right. Spare me. But then he brought up what I did, sending the recordings to his parents and boss. And to my total shock, he didn't seem mad anymore. He said that once the shame wore off, he realized he deserved it. Apparently, his parents gave him the "we're not mad, we're just devastated" talk of a lifetime. They made him repay every cent of the house deposit they'd chipped in, told him to grow up and face the fallout. At work, things hit just as hard. He was put on probation, pulled from Chloe's department entirely, and the promotion? That one went under review. Now, Mark, the guy who should have gotten it in the first place, is being considered instead. When he finally finished rambling, I just asked one question. If I hadn't found out, if I hadn't caught you, how long were you going to keep lying to my face every day? He didn't say a word, and that silence told me everything. I looked him in the eye and told him calmly that while I appreciated the honesty, it was too damn late. This wasn't just cheating. He didn't just break my heart. He stole time. He stole my trust. He shattered my grip on reality. While he was off figuring himself out, I was planning a future. I was believing in promises that had already been broken behind my back. Then I told him something that clearly caught him off guard. I forgave him, but not for his sake, for mine. Because carrying that kind of rage around would only end up poisoning me. And the look on his face, like he had come prepared for a meltdown, a screaming match, anything but grace. He had no defense for confession. I left him there at that cafe, slumped in the chair, and I walked away. It felt like closing the final chapter of a book I never asked to read in the first place. And for everyone wondering, no, we didn't get back together. Not even close. Forgiveness isn't the same as reconciliation, not even in the same zip code. The weeks after that were a blur of logistics and healing. I found myself a small studio apartment, totally mine, decorated it exactly how I wanted. I sorted out the leftover mess from the canceled house. Yeah, I lost a little cash, but I saved most of what mattered. Started therapy twice a week.
Best decision I've ever made. Lent hard on my people, and to their credit, my friends came through in ways I never expected. As for Chloe, she actually reached out again, about 2 months after everything went down. Turns out, Chloe ended up transferring back to her company's Chicago office. When she reached out one last time, she told me Will had been lying to her too. Said he told her our relationship was basically done, and that we were only staying together until the house closed, for financial convenience. She apologized again for getting involved and wished me well. We're not friends, never will be, but there's no lingering hate. Just closure. And well, last I heard, from mutual friends, not that I ask, he transferred to his company's Seattle office for a fresh start. Apparently, even after his probation ended, things at work were tense. Everyone knew about the affair. And the recordings I sent? Yeah, those didn't help his rep. Word is, his boss gave him 2 options: transfer or start job hunting. He chose Seattle.
Believe it or not, his parents still keep in touch. They were wrecked after seeing the recordings, but once they processed everything, they kept a relationship with me, completely separate from their son. His mom even sent me a birthday care package, homemade cookies, a handwritten card that said she still thought of me as family. As for the house, it finally sold last month to a new couple. I drove past it one day, saw a moving truck in the driveway, and felt nothing but relief. Relief that it wasn't me unloading boxes into that future. Last week, while finishing up unpacking, yeah, it took me 6 months, don't judge, I came across an old birthday card from Will. It said, "To many more years of adventure together." If I'd found that a few months ago, I probably would have cried for days. But this time, I just smiled. A sad, quiet smile, and tossed it in the trash. For those asking, yes, I still have the recordings, but they're locked away where no one will ever see them. They served their purpose. I don't need to re-watch that pain. To clarify, since a bunch of you asked, yes, I'm completely out. No shared bank accounts, no legal ties. Clean break. And to the person who DM'd me saying I'm damaged goods and no man will ever want me again, who hurt you, seriously? Actually, never mind. Just do better. And finally, do I regret sending the videos to his boss? Maybe. A tiny bit. But let's be real. Will used his relationship with Chloe to climb the ladder. Meanwhile, Mark, the guy with 3 kids and a sick wife, got overlooked. That kind of manipulation, it needed to be exposed too.